Hey, Thorns fans, Ann Schatz here, and so glad you can be on board for a very special interview. We're talking to the great Katherine Reynolds, who recently announced her retirement from the Portland Thorns and, in essence, professional soccer. Kath, thanks so much for being with us today. I've always loved talking to you, my friend, but I think today is going to be even more special. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me. I always like talking to you.
Cheers. Okay, let's get into the head and heart of Katherine Reynolds. I'm going to imagine it was a very tough call to hang up your boots. 11 years of professional soccer, the last 5 spent in the Rose City. The big question is, why? Why the decision?
Oh gosh, I mean, so many things went into my decision, and I mean, Mark and Gavin all know that I kind of reevaluate after every season whether I want to continue to play, and every season, of course, it's been a yes. But this season, I'm just getting older, and I still love soccer more than anything, and it makes me so happy. But I kind of just feel like it's the right time to figure out what's next for me. I'm excited to live in the same city as my husband and my family again.
What a concept.
And yeah, he's been very patient. And yeah, I'm going to miss soccer so much, but I'm excited to see what's next for me, I guess. But It was not an easy decision.
You mentioned that injuries played a factor in you coming to this conclusion. Was it that moment against Carolina this past July in the Challenge Cup quarterfinals, you knocking heads with a Courage player, a lot of blood, 9 stitches, a concussion? Was that kind of the tipping point?
To be honest, it was. Well, first of all, I've never experienced a head injury like that, and it was pretty scary.
Yeah.
But it was not only that, but so we came to Portland back in March, and it was all set, ready to go, and then we were sent home, and we didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know if there was even going to be a season, but I mean, my hope was there would be, and so I was training super hard, harder than I probably have ever trained, because you want to be ready, and it was different circumstances, training on your own and a lot more running, less soccer focused, but I mean, you could still do stuff on your own. But I felt really good coming into the season once we were allowed to be back in Portland. But after about a week and a half of preseason, I hurt my quad, strained my quad. And then, so that set me out for a while, and I wasn't even able to play in the Challenge Cup until a couple games in.
Right.
And then I was back, and so happy to be back out on the field and contributing. And then just a couple of games later, I had the head injury. And so I think it was kind of both those incidences combined in such a short period when the season was already shortened. Was just kind of like, I don't know if I can keep doing this. Like, it's just a roller coaster of emotions, and just the recovery and the physical therapy, like everything you have to do to come back from an injury, and then just to have it happen again so quickly. And then, of course, in the past couple of years, I've also had some injuries that have been more serious. And, I was so lucky for a majority of my career. I had very few injuries. So I think these past couple of years have just been a lot.
When Thorns fans, your teammates, the league, when they think of you, it will always be as one of the true anchors of this club. You come to Portland in 2016 via the Washington Spirit, reuniting with Mark Parsons. Initially, you come off the bench for the Thorns. Do you remember when your first Thorns start was, by chance?
No.
May 1st.
Okay.
Of 2016. You never look back. And when you arrived in Portland, it was interesting, Kat, because for a couple of years, and you guys getting that shape back, there wasn't a better defense in the NWSL, and you were such a huge part of that. How were you able to so quickly find your rhythm with this club in this city and with these fans. I mean, boom, you were all over it.
I don't know about that, but I think, I mean, it's always a challenge when you come into a new environment and a new club. And I mean, I've been at a lot of different clubs throughout my career and different teams. So I think, that was something that I was used to and prepared for. But I knew coming to Portland would be like even another level just with the quality of players that were on the team. And but I think I've always wanted to play and contribute as much as I can to whatever team and club that I'm on. So I made it my mission to find my way into the starting lineup eventually. And yeah, I mean, I'm just so lucky to have played with so many amazing players that make it easy to play well. And for a club and for Mark and his support and his belief in me for like bringing me to Washington to begin with, and then bringing me to Portland. And of course, the fans make it so much fun to play and motivate us all throughout the games to play the best that we can play for them. So, yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, it's an unknown coming into a new environment, but just kind of always been my mentality to work hard and find my way.
You were such a glue defender, ultimate professional, consummate in terms of consistency. But you were kind of a fly under the radar player, surrounded by a lot of superstars, not just on this team, with connections to their national teams in this country and around the world. So kind of fly under the radar a little bit. Did that ever frustrate you? Or did you just kind of think, I know my role, let's go?
Yeah, no, it didn't really frustrate me. Like I said, I'm just so lucky to have played with so many incredible players. Like the fact that I got to share the field with some of these people is just amazing. But yeah, no, I think it didn't really bother me. I've never been one to like really like to have all the attention on me anyway. Okay. And I think like that comes with a lot of pressure too. And I think I put enough pressure on myself to be the best that I can be, that I was fine just, having it how it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's what was really neat is after you announced your retirement, we were quickly directed to your eloquently documented open letter in terms of your soccer journey. And I think Thorns fans and probably some teammates and opponents around the league learned a lot about you through this letter. The beginnings of Katherine Reynolds in terms of the game of soccer up in Seattle decades ago. What prompted that letter, and did you enjoy the process of writing it?
Yeah, actually. So last off season, so every off season, I've kind of tried my best to, get, if I wasn't playing overseas, I was trying to get experience to help kind of prepare me for this transition into the business world. But last off season, actually kind of got connected through the NWSL Players Association to USU Soccer. And through USU Soccer, I got connected to Washington Youth Soccer. And I did some work for them last off season. And one of the things they asked me to do was write down my entire soccer journey. And I was like, really? Like, I was like, okay, like I'll try. So like once I got going, I was like, oh my gosh, this is never going to end. But it actually was so much fun to kind of like go back and remember all the different experiences that I've had, even starting when I was just, 4 or 5 years old. But yeah, it turned out a lot longer than I think anyone was expecting, but
great.
And I still couldn't have even included like everything that I would have wanted, but yeah, it was really fun to do that, and I'm glad that I have that for me now, just to like look back on. But yeah, when I finished it, well, first of all, Washington Youth Soccer was gonna do a whole video series and all this stuff, but then COVID happened, and then I don't know, things changed. But I still wanted to like be able to share that with everyone because I don't know, it was fun to write, and I feel like it is a cool story. And you know, I mean, I'm sure not everyone enjoyed it or cared about it, but I figured if some people, but if I don't know if anyone read it and enjoyed it or was inspired by it, then then yeah, that was kind of my hope. So
I thought it was awesome. I love the fact that you went back to those early days when it occurred to you, hey, how come everybody doesn't love this game and taking it as seriously as I do? Your dad gets you know, into that U11 club and off you went. That was pretty cool. And then we get to talk about the beginnings, and the end really shines a light on the fact that you have been such a pioneer in our game. You've been an ambassador to our game. You've made, you mentioned all the clubs you've played for, near and far, Philly, Atlanta in the WPS, Western New York, WPSL, Germany, Australia, and then 8 fabulous years in this current league, the NWSL. Thousands and thousands of minutes and championships and memories. Will you give yourself, or have you given yourself just a moment or two to sit back and think about that journey and what you've done?
Yeah, I mean, I think kind of writing it all out was a way for me to reflect on the whole journey, even though I ended up playing a year longer. I mean, I added the last part of my journey in just recently, but I think kind of writing out my entire journey was just kind of like an eye opener to me, and like of what a journey it has been. But yeah, I mean, it's a journey that I'm so grateful that I was able to have. So yeah, I'm sure it will take a little longer to hit me that it's officially over, but yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Anything stand out? I mean, really stand out at this very second? Anything that pops into your head if someone were to say, what are you going to miss the most? What do you remember the most?
I mean, if you said, what am I going to miss the most? It's definitely the team.
Okay. Okay.
And my teammates. I think like when I think back on my career and I think about my favorite moments, yeah, I mean, there's some games and championships and losses that stick out, but it, to me, like my favorite memories are just random moments spent with my team, whether it's in the locker room or on the airplane or just at practice, before practice, outside of training. Like those memories are what I remember the most. And I think like, yeah, just that's what I'm gonna miss. Like just laugh. I feel like all these girls like made me laugh so much every day, and I'm gonna miss that for sure.
Yeah. You know, a little earlier in this interview, you gave us in great detail, you know, kind of what you went through at that Challenge Cup with the injury early that kept you out the quad. And then, of course, you know, knocking heads with that Courage player that gave you the concussion stitches, and boom, you were done for that. And then you were never able to take the field in the fall series for the NWSL. You know, it's just a tough way to go out. Were you able to talk to any of your teammates about your decision to retire before you officially announced it?
I was down in Portland actually after their last game of the season, and I think I was able to talk to everyone then and kind of share my plan. But I think most of the team probably knew that was going to be the case before that. But it was hard for me to actually say out loud. So yeah, I'm glad I got the opportunity just to go down there and be with everyone, especially this specific group of people, like the current team. I mean, we didn't get to spend that much time together, but I really think it's a special group this year. And I am disappointed that I wasn't able to play in the fall series. And I'm disappointed that we didn't get an entire season, like normal season together, because I think this group is so talented and really has bonded over this time. So I'm glad that I was able to get down there and just kind of talk to everyone in person and say my goodbyes.
I don't think there is a more respected player in the locker room than you. And, we're going to ambush you a little bit, Kat, in that we want to make sure that the closest friend on your team could weigh in on your retirement.
Oh, no.
So Angela Salem is waiting in the wings somewhere. We're going to get her on board. And I know that you and Angela have been through wars together. And I mean just on the pitch as teammates. You guys have been together for a long, long time. And we're working right now feverishly to get Ange in here to join this interview. We weren't about to get your permission because, darn it, we were afraid you'd say no. Angela, are you there, baby?
I'm here.
I would never say no to Angela joining.
Hi.
Ange, thank you so much for being with us. We're dealing with one of your closest friends on the field, off the field. She refuses to talk about herself. She never shines light on what she brings. I would love for you to just shine a light on the greatness of Katherine Reynolds.
Oh, man. It would be my pleasure.
Please.
Yes. So obviously I've known Katherine since 2011, and we've been teammates, I think, 7 years now.
Wow.
So I can really speak true to who she is and how she's an amazing teammate, an amazing player. Just a kind of player that an organization would love to have because she leads by example and makes all the right choices and is a team player. Obviously, her stats prove themselves true as well. She's had a successful career. I think when her and I did an interview with Richard, he said that I think Katherine's made the playoffs like every single year besides, every single year, right? Maybe.
Except for one.
Oh, and then just...
Except what, in Atlanta or?
That's what I was going to say. But then I was like, are you talking about this league? But
yeah, I mean,
or 1 year with Western New York, we didn't make it, right?
Okay. So, I mean, essentially every team she's been on, she's been successful and has made a huge impact on her team and also the league because she's stuck by it for so many years. And I think the league is really lucky to have a person and a player like her.
Angela, when you've watched Katherine play over the years, many different teams, leagues, countries, how have you seen her game evolve so that she was able, into her 30s, if you will, still be that glue defender?
Well, I mean, Katherine's just someone who, even if she's starting on her team, it doesn't really matter what role she has. She's always trying to improve herself and be the best player that she can be. And the game has changed a lot over the years, and for her to be able to change her game, and she asks questions and she asks for feedback, and if someone tells her to do something, she's going to go out and she's going to do it, and if she can't do it, she's going to keep working at it until she can. So just that kind of mentality of always wanting to grow and always wanting to like improve herself is the reason why she's been able to start on every team that she's been on and play significant minutes. So really, it's just her willingness to be open to what she needs to improve on and like the feedback that others give her and how she can implement all that into her game.
You know, Ange, before we let you go, Katherine said this has been a real special group this year. It's been crazy with COVID and truncated season. I get that. Nothing that you guys have ever been through before. And yet Katherine talks about how special this group is, how she's going to miss her teammates. How much are you guys going to miss her?
I mean, we're going to miss her a lot. We missed her. I mean, when we heard she was maybe thinking about this, everyone was obviously devastated. And I think that everyone supports her with this decision because they want what's best for her. And she's obviously earned this opportunity for herself and to make this decision for herself. but it's really hard to replace a player like Katherine. I'm not sure you can, just not because of the player she is, but also the person and what she brings to a team in the locker room. And I know the team's going to miss her. I know I'm going to miss her. And I'm sure, I know the Thorns organization and fans are going to miss her. But that's just because of the positive impact she's left. So it's, yeah, it's sad. Sad.
We don't even look at all the love coming, baby. This is great.
She's nice.
Ange?
Yes.
Thank you for taking the time. We had to have somebody come in and weigh in on Katherine because, she's not going to talk about herself.
I know.
So thank you for filling in those gaps.
Of course. Anytime.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Thanks, Angela. Love you.
Katherine, love you.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
All right, Katherine Reynolds.
You guys are too nice to me.
What is next for you? And we won't hold you to anything, but when you're laying in bed at night and you're saying to Tucker, hey, we live in the same city. The world is our oyster. What's next for you?
Oh, gosh. I wish I knew the answer to that. No, I'm just trying to figure that out. I think what's hard is I compare everything to soccer, and I think one of my biggest fears is that I'm never going to find anything that makes me feel feel the way I feel when I'm playing soccer, the passion I have for soccer. And to be honest, I think I just have to accept that there probably isn't going to be anything else that gives me that same feeling. But hopefully I can come close. But yeah, I've always been interested in marketing, and I would love if I could kind of combine my interest in marketing and sports in some way. And just got to figure out how I want to go about that.
You've got some time to do that. You've got some time. Your teammates in their own way have had a chance to weigh in with you. But I'm kind of sad that 25,000 fans at Providence Park haven't had a chance to salute you. And I guarantee when fans are allowed back into our respective arenas and fields and stadiums, you will be saluted in fine fashion. Until then, I hope you know that I hope you've seen some of the love pouring towards you via social media. I hope you're aware of some of the folks weighing in. Have you kind of dipped your toe in those waters a little bit?
Oh my gosh, it's been so overwhelmingly nice. Like I can't even believe all the kind and positive and thoughtful messages people have sent me, and my teammates and fans and opponents. Yeah, it's very, I don't know. I don't feel like I deserve all these nice messages. They're so, it's been so nice.
Good. You've deserved it as much or more than anyone that I've been associated with in all the years I've been doing this. And I think it's wonderful. Before we let you go, you mentioned that you've contemplated retirement before, that injuries kind of stacking up over the last 4 or 5 years have had you thinking. And I remember the major knee surgery in 2018, and maybe 2019 was looking a little iffy. And then, of course, the legendary moment when Captain Sinc leaves 3 new pair of cleats by your locker. And you had to use the cleats, so you had to come back. They were too good not to use. Any chance that the captain has left you some new boots? Would you change your mind?
She's offered quite frequently in the last few months. And yeah, they're definitely hard to turn down. Emily and Sinc, what?
It's just a great story.
Oh yeah, it is a great story. Yeah, because it's all true. She actually would give me her boots and be like, "Oh, I guess I got to play now." Yeah. No, Emily and Sinc's latest thing is they've been putting together a PowerPoint for why I shouldn't retire. So I'm waiting to see it. They haven't presented it yet, but
I'm going to
I
hold
think you're
out
a little
hope that
late.
I'm going to hold out hope that you never know. A gal's got a right to change her mind. And until then, until the PowerPoint, and until we get to see each other face to face, Katherine Reynolds, there will be no goodbyes on this day. Just a tremendous amount of gratitude, respect, and appreciation. And to say that you will be missed is a huge understatement. Thank you for letting us into your world, setting the bar so high, and I just want to thank you for bringing all of us along with you over these years. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. I mean, your messages to me were so kind and thoughtful, and you know that I always enjoy chatting with you, and I'm glad that we were able to do this last interview together.
Thank you
Thank
for taking the
you.
time, and folks will be in touch with you. You're not getting away this easy. But for today, many, many thanks, Katherine Reynolds.
Oh yeah, you know I'll be in the stands. I'll be back.
Atta girl.
As soon as we're allowed.
Good. Okay. Thank you, Kat.
And thanks to Angela too. That was sweet.
Oh yeah, we'll ping her and give her a big thanks. It was a special time. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.